After the impossible decision young and restless as Adam was faced with making in the hospital, and the devastating loss that followed, there's about to be fallout galore for Victor Newman's tormented youngest son. Adam, who was watching over Sally while his brother Nick battled to save Faith and Sharon from the clutches of the twisted Cameron Kirsten, reluctantly caved to her demand to leave the room and go out for a change of scenery and something to eat. We'll never know if leaving her bed had anything to do with what happened next, but unhappy circumstances ensued. As Adam and Sally were dining, she was suddenly hit by pain in her right side, intense enough to double her over. Adam leaped out of his seat to help her get up as he calmly told her he would be taking her directly to the hospital. Unrecognizable as the Newman black sheep, Adam was the picture of calm and support as he guided his ex-girlfriend into memorial and explained the situation to Elena. In a touching moment, Sally told Adam that Hope, his mother's name, was a beautiful moniker for their baby girl, right before she lost consciousness. From there, the situation escalated mind-numbingly fast as Elena declared that the crisis had become life-threatening to both Sally and her unborn baby, and Adam must decide which of them to save before Spectra was wheeled into emergency surgery. Reeling, Adam first told Elena he couldn't possibly make that choice. In a heartbreaking aside, he begged Sally to wake up and tell him what to do. But alas, that wasn't to be. Sally remained unconscious, and at the very last moment, Adam made the most difficult decision of his life. Knowing Sally would have wanted to save the baby, he instead chose to save the life of the woman he loves. But as we instantly realized and saw a glimpse of in the preview for next week, that choice is going to come with huge repercussions. Just as Sally and Adam were growing ever so close again, while bonding over their unborn baby girl, the tragic turn of events will tear them apart, perhaps for good. Why? Sally blames Adam for the loss of the baby, telling him, "You're the reason she's dead." We all know she's just grieving, but this is bound to bring Adam's self-loathing to the surface and trigger a change in behavior as he punishes himself, shoulders the guilt and tries to move on. Heartbroken by Sally's rejection and grieving for his lost baby girl, Adam is almost certain to turn that inner pain and anger into a laser-focused attack on Newman Media, which means a return to the old Adam we haven't seen for quite some time. Look out, Victoria and Victor, who will have his hands full refereeing between the siblings. Indeed, Young and Restless spoilers indicate that Adam turns to the dark side by the end of next week. Are you surprised that Adam will be revisiting his inner bad boy? Let us know in the comments section. It would appear that that's all she wrote for Linden Ashby's brief but eventful comeback to the Young and the Restless. After less than a month of terrorizing Sharon Newman anew, the villain was seemingly fatally stabbed by the object of his obsession in the June 16 episode. That there would be no turnaround for the abusive businessman who stalked his prey from Chicago to Genoa City 20 years ago was not a surprise. When Ashby agreed to reprise his role, his one request of executive producer/head writer Josh Griffith was, "Hey man, let's write him bad," the actor told Soap Opera Digest. In character he added, "I'm not looking for a redemptive story here. I'm not looking to turn over a new leaf. I've got a few scores to settle and business to take care of." Though Cameron's only actual casualty was poor Faith's cat, Boardman, the repercussions of his reign of terror are sure to be felt for months to come as Sharon and former husband Nick deal with the aftershocks of his vendetta. Ironically, despite Cameron's treatment of Sharon, his portrayer has said that he really loves her. It's probably not the healthiest relationship in the world, but his love is genuine. Though at the close of Friday's episode, Cameron certainly appeared to be really most sincerely dead. Will he stay that way? Maybe, maybe not. By the time his return engagement was over, Ashby said that he was kinda sorry it was finished. And hey, he got to work at least a little bit with his real-life wife, Susan Walters, Diane. Always a plus. Read about more off-screen couples from the show here. Young and Restless delivered, at long last and in a big way, on daytime drama. From Adam and Sally's heartbreaking loss to Sharon and Faith's bone-chilling encounters with the deranged and delusional Cameron Kirsten, it was edge-of-your-seat time as the week closed out, on a cliffhanger no less. Wow, what a gripping climax to the Cameron Returns arc, and it's not over yet as Faith is still strapped to a bomb. Not that anyone actually expects the college cutie to be blown to bits. I'm sure Chance will redeem himself after his terrible police work in the lead-up by saving her life now. I can't say enough about Sharon Case's performance throughout this turn of events. Her wails and anguish as she realized Cameron had taken Faith were chillingly raw and realistic. Linden Ashby meanwhile delivered what young and restless fans had been begging and pleading to see for eons: a truly twisted villain. How lucky are we? That said, I'd like to know how the hell Sharon got that knife that was duct taped onto her leg with the sharp part exposed off to use it. It just seemed like such a stretch, as many pointed out. As many also noted, Nick taping it on was weirdly sexy. Additionally, there were beats Matt played in what turned out to be a very short arc, perhaps because Ashby's run was limited and there just wasn't time to get into more. Moving forward, there will be fallout for Nick and perhaps even Chance, who may finally throw in the towel on police work, but unless Sharon is charged with Cameron's murder, I don't see how this will drive story for her. They should have had Faith kill Cameron and Sharon take the rap for her to keep the drama going. Watching Case go back to pouring coffee just gets more infuriating each time we get to see her shine. Tragedy trajectory. One of my favorite things to admit in this space is that I did not see something coming. It's rare and amazing to be blindsided by a plot twist anymore, but that's exactly what happened when Sally lost her baby. It was stunning to see the heartbreaking scenario play out, and I was left devastated for them both. They even named their baby girl Hope before she died. OMG. Mark Grossman and Courtney Hope were both brilliant as the crisis unfolded, and Brittany Sarpy as Elena was the definition of a calming presence, at least up until she began rather intensely demanding that Adam choose who will live or die. Jeebus. The poor guy naturally made the decision that ensured Sally would live to loathe him anew. I'd expect everything will change, as Sally is likely to push Nick away too in her grief. Getting back to Adam, it was lose for Victor's youngest under the circumstances. Expect his pain and anger to take him in a new, old direction. Slow clap. If I had been sitting in the Geno City Athletic Club when Elena walked in and proceeded to dress down the smug Nate and Victoria, I'd have stood and given her a slow clap when she was done. How delicious a scene was that? And loaded with foreshadowing of what's to come for the power pair. Despite a teaser that Nate will get the upper hand on Nick this coming week, I don't think it's looking good for him or Audra after Victor spotted them toasting after the discussion about Nick taking a leave of absence. He's onto them, mark my words. It's happening. Kyle can see what bad girl Audra is all about, but nonetheless, color him intrigue. At this point, he's going to be just waiting for Summer to do one more thing that will give him a reason to go there, and go there he will. My instincts say they're not teasing this pairing as a red herring. Not only can I not wait to see it, but I'm also excited for where the fallout will send Summer. Perhaps into Chance's waiting arms? A sense of foreboding. So, Connor's having a moment, and whatever is going on in that little head of his is about to get a whole lot more complicated. Why? You might wonder, since the baby sister that was so upsetting to him is now out of the picture, because if he feels like he wished this on her or his dad, he's going to go into even more of a downward spiral.